préfère ça. Je préfère ça. Comme Hello, everyone. I hereby Dr. Seydou Barrow, Associate Professor at University Nazir Boni of Boulasso, it is in Burkina Faso. I'm very glad to show you the result of our work research with my team, which is focused on person identification in African context. It is good to know that today, with the digital technology, it is possible to dematerialize the exchange on patient information. So the follow-up of the patient by several actors required free access to information wherever there are and without mistaking the person. This justifies the implementation of reliable identity, and also it is an essential condition to ensure the security patient care. So the aim of this is the implementation of a system that allows to identify, first of all, the patient uniquely and reliably throughout his or her journey through the care system, and also to secure and make reliable the care in a care system. So the method that we use for our work is the one based on the scientific word of the group called GMSIH of France, which means the group for the modernization of the hospital information system. How does it work? It works in different methods. So the first method is to the unique identification criteria according to the GMSIG. So we have to identify the traits. When I say the trait, I mean we have to know the last name, the first name, date of birth, and the gender. And also the code of the place of the birth, and also the code of the locality of the resident and the sector of this patient. So if we have all different information, now we have the normalization, which is the last name, first name normalized with the first name, or first name hash 512, sorry. So this coding of the sex fields and the date of the birth in DDMH format, and also the concatenation of characters and the conversation of letters according to the RSA2 coding. So if we have all this information, then it is good for us. Why? Because we need now for the method to hash. So how do we hash? The second hash with the SHA512 algorithm. We use this algorithm, of course, then a recovery of the first 20 characters from the 50 index. And now the new conversation of the letter according to the codes ASD encoding, we have to select of the first 20 digits. So if we did all those things, we now look for the control key. So the control key is got by the Euclidean division from the number of hash, and we obtain it by removing from this number of hash the quantity 97. So we have the first result here of the ID patient model in Burkina Faso context, the model that can be integrated in all HIS. So we have an example in front of us here. So this is the person we took, and the person name is Dera. Last name is Minata Awa. And from the birth information, we have got the ID information, the ID code. And at the end of this ID code, we have this number, which is in fact our control key. So here is the result too of another person, another patient. For concrete example, Her name is Traoré Benedict Yasmina, a receiver from the first prenatal visit. So she was born on January 25, 1990 in Badara, it's in Burkina Faso. And the use of the method of unique ID of the patient. By using this method, we have got the following result, which is the ID code, and the control key is 90. This is 19, sorry. So for the third result is in fact the reliability test of the unique identifier method. So the goal is what is to take into account identity anomaly. So we did a test of our application to see if this application is strong or not, and we have noticed that for 212 records, tests on people, there is the duplication and the collision rate is 0%. So what do we call duplication and collision? The duplication is in fact for a patient, if we take a random patient, we can't attribute for this person two different ID codes. So in this case, we say that there is no duplication. So now, what is a collision? Collision is, in fact, if we consider two patients, it is difficult, okay, to attribute the same ID code to the both person. So our example here show that there is no such thing. So for that, we are very satisfied for our application. We say that it is strong. So here now, what we can now, let's say, keep in mind is that each individual is unique and should be identified by a unique number. It means that we cannot for two persons, let's say, identify the both person with the same, let's say, ID code. Also, uniquely identifying a person in the care process is the basis of any secure information sharing system and a quality of care. This pilot experience is an innovation and a foundation for computerization and data exchange project in Burkina Faso healthcare facilities. I thank you very much for your attention, for listening to me. It's been very happy for me to, let's say, make this presentation to you. So for any question or any issue, you can touch me on this email, which is above here, seydou.golo@gmail.com. Thank you for your attention and see you next time. Bye.